You were the first woman press secretary and the second youngest ever to work in the White House. So my question that I wanted to ask you was, why do you think he chose you? Like, what do you think he saw in you?
I went to interview for the job. Bill Clinton didn't ask me one question about my qualifications. They talked about his vision and our shared vision for the country. So I think we had, from the very beginning, a lot in common in terms of how we saw the problems and challenges facing America and what might be done about them.
Did you think that the White House press secretary job would be more glamorous when you were first going into it?
No, because I'd been a press secretary for a long time. The transition from, we went from a small campaign to a medium campaign to a big campaign to a huge campaign to the transition. And I thought at the end of the campaign that had gotten kind of as big and crazy as it could, but the day after Bill Clinton was elected, he was the president-elect. And all of a sudden I realized, oh my goodness, he's the president-elect. He's the next president of the United States. It got crazier. And then when he became president, it got crazier. Yeah. So I didn't have any illusions that it was going to get easier. I knew it was going to get harder by the time I got there, I was like, okay, I know it's going to get harder.
Could you share any of those like non-glamorous moments?
There's just a tremendous amount of planning and detail management. And that just takes a lot of energy, which is okay, it's supposed to. But so I didn't think that was particularly glamorous, even though you're talking about interesting issues and important issues. It's still you're working really hard to gather the information and to put out a response to a question or to fix a mistake. And that's just what life was like. And we worked 7 days a week. Bill Clinton worked 7 days a week, so I worked 7 days a week. I would try to take some Sundays off, but. Bill Clinton was working, I was working. We kept saying, go to Camp David, take the weekend off. And he'd go to Camp David, he'd get on the phone, and he'd call like everyone he knew, and that would always generate something, so. You
had so many articles written, not only about your capabilities, but, about your hair and your fashion. So how did you
lack thereof.
How did you handle that public scrutiny, and do you think that affected, that kind of attention, did it affect your work at all?
Everything written about me included some comment about it. It wasn't, it wasn't ever really the focus, but it was always part of the mix. And I think that I handled it by kind of ignoring it, and that wasn't necessarily the best strategy, because what it should have said to me is that it matters. People are paying attention, and while I'm never going to be a fashion icon. It's just not. I wish I was, but I'm not. But I think it's important for young women, and I say this now when I talk to young women in particular, and men too, but particularly women. It matters. It doesn't have to be the focus of your universe, but your appearance does matter. Maybe it shouldn't, but it does.
So what's your biggest thing that you've taken away from all your years of experience, and like the most important advice that you think you could give to young college students?
Follow your heart, learn some good skills, work hard, become an expert at the things you care about, show some initiative, show some creativity, and I promise you the world will be your oyster.